All right, so I'm working on this Bobcat today, and this is a Bobcat 610. I have it jacked up off the ground let me set my coffee somewhere where it won't get knocked off so the wheels can roll. Well, I thought the wheels could roll. Yeah, this one here, yeah, it's a little bit stiff. But anyway, um, and this is the start of me going through the drives. And so I've already adjusted the clutches and put new cotter pins in here, just because it had so much slop in the clutch linkage that I was having an issue. And so what I've noticed, I've never taken this side panel off. Somebody's been in here before. Well, I'm sure somebody's been in here quite a bit, but they had used regular silicone along with the cork gasket that's original to it. You can see that ribbon of silicone right there, just regular household 100% silicone to seal this case. And so a lot of water had gotten down in here, and you can tell it's all nice and milky. But this chain has good tension on it. This is the tensioner for it. All the teeth, these teeth look a little bit beat up, but they're not thin. These teeth, if you notice, see how these teeth are see if it'll get it to focus. See how these teeth are a lot thinner, come to a point more. These teeth don't. This one's not been as worn, and but they're still not to the point where it's going to be an issue with slipping. I do think, however, that this tensioner here, this one here, is a little bit loose, and you can see where the chain has been eaten on this when the lever is too far forward, because they had the clutches so far out of adjustment that lever was having to go way forward to get those clutches to bite. And so they were wearing the inside of this chain against that. The chain's probably harder material than this linkage. The other thing is, you can see that on the side of this linkage there's wear, and it's because this has slop in it side to side like this, and this was all the way in. Whatever bushing is on this arm here goes to the lever, which is on the other side there, that lever right there. And I already know that the splines have wear on them, so I've got to my goal in this is I'm going to probably take the drive chains are good, the drive gear seems good. From what I can see from the big gears down there for the wheels, they look good. But I'm going to inspect all of this. I'm going to take the this bearing seemed a little tight on this one. This bearing's good. This bearing feels like it had a little bit of rust in it. You can see that nut was a lot rustier on this one than this one. And so I imagine water got in that cap too. But in any case, I'm going to get all this adjustment right. I'm going to probably take this piece out. I've got to take all this off probably to get to it, but I'm going to take that piece out. I may just be able to take that Allen key loose there, and if it's threaded on the other side, and then I'll have to loosen the tension on this, probably loosen the tensioner or take the tensioner off. And then I'm going to weld and probably re-groove that spline if I can by hand. But I'll bring you back. I'm going to bring y'all along for this kind of project. This is an old Bobcat 610 that I swapped, and so far everything's working. I mean, I used it to pick itself up, to put it on blocks on the front. That cylinder, I'm going to do a video on repacking that cylinder on that side. It leaks. This one here leaks, but not near as much. I mean, it really doesn't leak. It's just a little bit damp looking. Anyway, I'll bring y'all back. So the reason I took the thing apart is because I had slop in the controls, and you can see the wear on the controls. This faces down like this, and so most of the wear is going to be with the arm, the control arm here, facing outwards. And let's see, this is the side. So this sits like this in the Bobcat, and this fits in here like this, and you can tell has all that slop. Now it's supposed to have a keeper nut, I think, on the end, and that's supposed to be sitting a little tighter. but it's missing that keeper nut. So what I'm going to do, I think, since I don't have a machine shop, but I do have a small welder and grinders and stuff, so I'm going to weld on top of these splines, the ones that are worn the most, and then I'm going to take a grinder and a file and clean them up. And I may even weld, you probably can't see it, but this side's better. This side is the side towards the outside, and it's got more slop in it than the other side, but I'll show you here in a minute. So this is it after welding with that cheap little welder down there, but I really just hit the 3 worst. It's a little flux core welder, the 3 worst spots, and I'm going to take the side grinder or angle grinder, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's the right width for between the splines. And if not, I have narrower blades, like these little Soli or Sally blades. If you need good cutting blades, these are good cutoff wheels. They last a long time, and you can get them relatively cheap off of Amazon. But I'm going to just trial and error. I'll grind it down, fit it, and then I'll probably drill and tap a hole on the end there with whatever size tap I've got, and I'll bring you back. All right, so I'm in here in the workshop. I just used that angle grinder right there with that Porter cable grinder wheel. It's not a cutoff. It's a maybe 3/16 grinder wheel, and it's been a little bit used, so it's kind of a little bit more tapered at the edge to cut new splines or new grooves on the. Now I've still got to keep in mind, I've still got to round this piece out where I got my weld out into that. There was some pitting in this part runs in a not a bushing, but it's like a little keeper, and it's supposed to have a spline threaded in, I think, because neither one of these had a bolt on the end. It needs a bolt and a washer in the end of it to keep this from walking back and getting into the chain. You can see where it was getting into the chain. In any case, this is the handle, and I'm just going to knock it out so you can see what I've got here. It's a little warm because I was grinding on it, but this is what I've got so far. And I did those, just topped them up, and I took the side out of them. And then you can see the ones that I didn't have to do anything to. They're a little pitted, but they're not real bad. I don't think I'll mess with them because it's awful nice and tight now. So I actually think maybe this is an original piece, but that looks like a really good weld on the end there. So maybe somebody may have added this linkage again. But in any case, it fits the way it's supposed to. If I can get it back on there. And you can see it doesn't have any play in it, like not at all. And when I clamp this down, it'll be even better. So I've got to do that to the other side as well, but I'm going to put this back together. Well, I'm going to thread, I'm going to drill and tap this end for probably like not a 1/4-20, probably like a 5/16 or something bolt, and to put in there to keep it. Anyway, I'll bring y'all back. So here's where I'm at. I've smoothed this out some. I've got the splines where they fit. I drilled and tapped a 1/4x28 fine thread bolt in the end as a keeper to hold it into that hole where it's supposed to be. And I'm going to try. I don't have a tripod for this phone or anything, but I also got a lock washer. This is stainless bolt and a stainless washer and a stainless lock washer, or split ring, or whatever you want to call them. But in any case, this goes directly opposed to that lever that's up there. So it should fit in there just like, kind of like that. Let's see if I can tap it in. Yeah, so the splines are in, and the lever, you can see the lever's directly opposite. So now, just to see how the so here's the keeper. Nope, I'm going to drop it down in the machine if I'm not careful. One-handed. All this stuff's slippery when you got hydraulic oil on you. It has a grease fit in there, so I should be able to snug this down. I'm going to get a ratchet real quick. And that's just a little 7/16. What'd I do with that thing? Well, no. Okay, here we go. I know it's a little bit disjointed here. Should pull it up against there a little bit. I don't know if that keeper will work like that or not. I may have to make a spacer for it. In any case, we'll see. I might have to make a little spacer underneath here or put a smaller washer inside under there so that it has a good tight fitting up under there. But you get the gist. The other bolt, the clamp bolt, goes through here, and then I have less play in this once it clamps down. But I've ordered the clutches because the clutch discs, I'm just going to go ahead and show you this while I'm here. The clutch, put everything in this old hydraulic bucket. These are the clutch assemblies. Now I've got a tooth missing here, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I haven't decided yet. It's not in a real bad spot. That may be the better clutch. I'm not sure. Let me see here. No, this is the one. So this one's delaminated. You can see it's starting to come apart. And so I went ahead and ordered the clutch discs to go together with this. All the bearings so far, all the surfaces seem okay. I'm going to clean them up a little bit, put new discs, and put it all back together. I don't know what I'm going to do about the tooth. I may weld one and then weld a tooth on it and then grind it, shape it. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. I'll bring you back when I'm reassembling. All right, so I'm about to put these clutches back in. These are the clutches that I just got from Amazon. They have a steel core in them and a laminated fiber outside. They came from China, I'm sure. The clutches that are on the left side, well, the right side when you're sitting in the seat on this machine are fiber clutches. And I'll show you that. I'm going to bring this together. So I just have this loosely put back together. The chain is off of it. I'll have to go get it here in a second. But I'm going to just take the castle nut. And I put them back together so I wouldn't lose any parts. I'm going to try and keep any, I had the lid on this too because I wanted to try and keep any debris out of it, and we had rain. I don't have the cork gasket for this. It's kind of like, I may find a source for it somewhere, but it's kind of like puzzle pieces. They notch together on the ends. So you have a cap, a roller bearing, which is in good shape, and then there is a piece of steel here that's like a spacer. I'm going to set that up there. And then this clutch can come off. And on this side, they're just fiber. So I'm going to set that over here to the side. So you can see that's just a fiber disc. It's not broken. This one's not delaminated. This would be the forward clutch. The back clutch is the forward clutch. This piece of the clutch is got the chain on it and it's under tension, and I'm going to leave it there. The surface is good. This, if it's the right diameter, should fit right there, and it does. So that fits onto that surface. There's a little hip here. Now I'm going to set this to the side. Set it down here. I'm going to save it. This surface here is good and nice and smooth. It's got a little bit of discoloration, and I'm sure it'll wear in. You also want to check these bearings on the inside of these, and they're in good shape. All my bearings so far that I have checked are in good shape. But that fits back in there like that, and you can hear it rubbing. It will probably need adjustment more than once. We're going to put this back in the same order. Goes on there. Then the cap with the roller bearing in it. And this is a pressed in piece as well. And it's got a little bit of wear right there. I don't think it'll be an issue though. Probably because somebody at some point didn't change that bearing. Want to make sure that's nice and smooth. We'll adjust these clutches after the fact. Amazon did not send me both clutches. Well, they sent me 2 clutches. They didn't send me 4 clutches. So there's that piece. Roller bearing. Spacer. Clutch. And this one is our reverse clutch. And our reverse clutch doesn't grab hardly. You've got to really jam that clutch in, and you can see why. It's delaminating. The wear surface is missing, and you can see how thin that is. It's like cardboard, but it sits in there like that, and it also has got some wear on it, some slop. But and then this face on this, it's still in good shape. Bites on that, but you can see it's just delaminating. So I'm going to set it with the other one. Now, when I went to take the other side off, it had these kind with the metal center in them. And just set that in there. Looks fine. You got to check your bearings. Bearings are good. Looks like there's a little something in the center of that. I'm going to find me a pick. Looks like there's something, some trash. Yeah, some trash in there. Let me get a. This is where I don't know if you can see that, but down in here there's some trash. So I'm gonna. Looks like some metal flakes, or probably from where that clutch. Yeah, see some metal flakes in there. But you don't want them in your bearings, and so the best thing you can do is fish them out. I might have to go get a Q-tip just to have something with some fiber on the end to get up in there. Let me see if I can ball up a little bit of this. And yeah, there we go. Alright, just a little bit more. It's the only time I've seen that. I've checked all of them. It's the first one I've seen that on. And that's the clutch that was all wearing. I wonder if maybe the housing got a little bit of something in it. And the bearings are fine, and the raceway is fine, and I'm not missing any needles, and that's the important thing. So stick that back in, spacer. Check your caps, make sure there's nothing messed up in there. Put that piece on. Find your other castle nut. Now I will say, when you go to adjust these, you have to make sure before you put the lid on that the big nut on the inside is turned so that this is sideways. If it's that way and the point's up, it will not go in. It has a bar that holds that nut in position so that that bearing spins in its housing. And if you don't have it right, it won't work. So I have a hydraulic oil bucket that I've been keeping these chains in. I just took it was after the oil was empty, so I just cut the lid off of it and I put all the bolts and everything in it because there's too much stuff to just use Ziploc bags. This chain says Rex USA. Let's see if I can get that. So this is and the chain's in good shape, looks real good. I did keep the chains separated because I forget how this is ordered. I'm pretty sure it just goes like this. I think I had to kind of work these like you would a bicycle last time. So I had to get it on the lower sprocket. And if you don't know what that means, you have not spent enough time on a bicycle. But I think I had to just, well, that's the engine pulley. I guess maybe it'll pull over, maybe not. Yeah, because I wonder if I can just do this. Let's see. If I could bring it out just a little bit and take some slack off of it. And what I'll do for that is I'll just take I can't remember how I got them off. It's not been that long, but I think I took the pulleys loose and slid them out to try and make space. I don't know. I'll figure it out here in a second. But you guys get to watch me figure it out. Don't lose anything. And you want to try and keep as much debris out of your hydraulic system as possible. I think it can come out like this. And I don't want to have to pull that. I don't want to have to pull that pulley off if I can help it. Let's just see if I can rotate the wheels. Oh, these wheels are on the ground, I think. You don't want to break anything. I think maybe I'm supposed to take this off. Or this chain's supposed to be a link longer. I wonder if I could bump the starter. Let's try bumping the starter in. went forward. Let's try it again. There we go. I knew I'd do something. Hopefully, hopefully I got all of that. Let's see. Alright, let's put these back on. The other side is significantly looser. So the other side has a lot more play in the chain, and it has a master link on it. And I never did find the master link on this one. I don't know that it has one. It may have been a factory chain with no master link on it. Yeah, we'll adjust these with the engine running and the side off of, the covers off of the Bobcat, because you have to adjust the clutches, or you want to adjust the clutches with it running mostly. So now tension wise, I guess I can go like that and tension it, and then this tensioner here forward. This chain was really loose when I went to take it off. This chain had a big sag in it, and it probably had jumped teeth while I had it off. So let's see here. This should be a 9/16. Well, now where's my 9/16? Oh, here it is. All right. I got that pretty snug, but I imagine it'll loosen a little bit. Usually when I tension a chain, I want to have about the width of the chain up and down from center. This one is pretty tight. I've got the drive chain for the axle tight, but the axles going, the chain going to the axles is a little bit looser. In any case, that's how the clutch goes back together. I'm going to put the lid on this thing. I don't have that gasket, so I'm going to use ultra gray on this, and I'll bring you back and show you how it worked once I get the other clutches. Alright, so good morning. I'm back again. I've got these side panels on. I hope these don't leak. I don't have the cork gaskets for these. The cork gaskets that were in here were really heavily deteriorated around this panel, and so I used great stuff. Not great stuff. I don't know why I say great stuff. I used Permatex Ultra Gray. I went ahead and just bought a tube for my caulk gun. Put that in there. The clutches that I replaced, this side, the left side of the engine, is here, I'll point it up at me. The left side of the engine had steel core clutches that were in pretty good shape, both of them. Steel core, and they're both in pretty good shape. I'm going to save them. I'm actually going to save all the clutches, but the original fiber clutches, you can see I can fold them. They're almost like cardboard. They were delaminating. You can see where that one's missing all of the fiber on this side, and it's just coming apart. Same with the other one. This was the reverse clutch on the right side, which is why I couldn't go backwards and spin that well on that side. I had to really jam it. The forward clutch was a little bit better, but there's a reason that the left side was a lot stronger. So the new clutches I put in are like this. I'm saving those in a bucket. Alright, so what I'm doing this morning, I'm going to try and get y'all where you can see, is this is the clutch adjustment for both clutches, and then you have a cotter pin that goes through the castle nut to hold it in that position, and then a cap that goes over the adjustment. Now if I crank this and it pours hydraulic fluid down here, you know, then my seal didn't work, and I needed to put more gasket maker on it. I do have it off the ground so that I can crank it and roll the wheels, and you'll see the wheels going forward and back. I'm trying to get it where you can see this lever right here, so you can see like neutral and everything, but you can see the wheels moving forward and back. I haven't cranked it this morning, so I'm going to hook the battery up and crank it and see if it stays in place. it's working. I still have a gasket leak on the left-hand side as I'm sitting in it. So right-hand side as you're facing it, around that gasket. And you know, there's always going to be a little something, but I've got to adjust the clutches a little bit. I imagine they'll wear in. Here, I'll show you that gasket leak. Hold on a second. So you can see it's leaking at the bottom of the side cover here. So the side cover is leaking. This side cover here is not leaking. Now these aren't tightened down, and they'll drip a little bit. And this cylinder's dripping just a little bit, enough for me to go ahead and put that seal kit on. This side cover's not leaking down here. It's hard to focus with this thing, but I will say the clutches feel better. But that's where we're at with this. Y'all have a good day, and hope y'all enjoy. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, like and subscribe.